look at the pit lanes closing. Hamilton. Oh, it's a big one.
The lights are still on and Frentzen has jumped the start.
These are Formula One's most strange moments. Buckle up. You know how F1 teams sometimes do weird shit to stand out? Imagine this. It's Monaco, 2004. You're walking through the paddock and someone casually goes, "Hey, did you hear Jaguar put a diamond on their car?" You laugh, obviously. I mean, we're talking about a compressed chunk of carbon that takes a billion years to form, gets mined like treasure, sliced with lasers, polished by scientists, and stored in vaults next to nuclear codes. Why the hell would that be on the front of an F1 car? And more importantly, why Jaguar? See, we're talking about a midfield team here, not Ferrari, not Mercedes, just the kind of car you'd see once during the race and then forget it existed. Like nobody was buying Jaguar merch. No kid had Jaguar R5 posters on their wall. So why would anyone say, "Yep, that's the one, let's trust him with a $300,000 gem"? Well, I've got no idea. However, the reason behind it, to promote a movie, Ocean's 12. Yes, the movie about robbing diamonds. Jaguar looked at the script and said, "You know what'd be cool? Let's run the plot. IRL. Lap 1, turn 5. Christian Klein, the rookie, first time in the straights. Result, fatality.
He's gone off. Anyway, oh, it's at the Lowe's hairpin.
He taps the wall at Lowe's hairpin. Nothing massive, just a classic Monaco hello barrier moment. But then the team checks the car afterwards, and the diamond is gone. Not cracked, not chipped, gone. The marshals looked, the teams looked. Hell, if I were there, I'd be crawling on all fours with a torch and a prayer. And to this day, still missing, never found. Some say it was an inside job. A marshal saw it, slipped it in a pocket and played dumb. Others think it was never real to begin with, just a stunt. Whatever it was, one thing is real. This is still one of the biggest WTF moments in F1 history. So yeah, Ferrari loses a race, Jaguar loses jewelry, but if you lose this channel, that's on you. A priceless diamond got launched into Monaco's gutter system, but somehow, that's still not the worst thing ever strapped to an F1 car. Flashback to 2010, Jarno Trulli and Karun Chandhok were going at it for P14 like it was the title. Then Trulli sent it in La Rascasse like a man possessed. And well, they ended up like this. Yep, Trulli literally parked his car on top of Chandhok's. What was even happening? But hey, if you think an F1 car riding another F1 car is as weird as it gets, just wait until you see what happens when designers completely lose their minds and their sense of taste. Think of car design like cooking. Normally it's all about balance, smooth lines, downforce, precision. But every now and then, someone throws in chili flakes, marshmallows, and soy sauce just to see what happens. That's what these cars were. Full course disasters. Let's start with the weird kid in the class, the Tyrrell P34. 6 wheels, front tires smaller than your AirPods. It looked like a Lego set gone wrong, but the idea was smart. Better grip, less drag, and somehow it kind of worked. Jody Scheckter won a race with it in 1976. Then in 2001, Arrows looked at that and said, "Bet, hold my orange paint." Their A22 showed up to Monaco with a giant elevated front wing that made the car look like it had a handlebar. It was supposed to improve airflow and increase front-end downforce, but in reality, it looked like it was designed by IKEA. Like, bro, where's the Allen key to assemble this thing? Well, the FIA banned it immediately. It only lasted that one free practice, gone as quickly as it came. They didn't score points, they didn't turn heads for performance, just for how cursed the car looked. And then there was Jordan, who saw all this and went, "Mummy, can I get weird too?" The EJ11 showed up at Monaco 2001 with a crazy custom wing. It added some downforce, but the real trick, it helped direct air to the rear wing better. However, it was flat, like very flat. Even seemed like it was about to fold in on itself and fly away. Curiously, I know some fans genuinely love this random era, and low-key, same. Because yeah, these cars were ugly, but they were bold. They had personality. I mean, you can roast Tyrrell, Arrows, and Jordan all day, but at least they weren't Sauber. No? Anyway, now that we've seen chaos in carbon fiber, let's talk about chaos in the garage, on the radio. Mercedes 2021? Oh man, it was given full reality TV.
Yeah, I need that extra point, guys.
Copy, we're on it.
We're not going for fastest.
Why not?
So Lewis will have a free stop at the end.
Why did we stop them?
Precautionary. tire vibrations.
It's James. Please abort the fastest lap attempt before the end of the lap.
In 2021, Mercedes proudly held one record, the most L's in the weirdest damn ways possible. Let's start in Monaco, the land of yachts, VIP parties, and apparently pit stops that double as retirement plans. Lap 30, Bottas pits. Everything seems normal until nope.
And it's the hard time
right
too, but
front's not even off yet.
they
Look.
can't get the right front off. Someone needs to get a big hammer and try and give it a shunt with that, because at the moment that tyre is not budging, and this is Valtteri Bottas's race being ruined before your very eyes.
And that's it. The wheel nut will not come off.
The front right wheel nut just straight up refuses to come off. Like it said, nah bro, I live here now. The damn thing got machined into the axle. The result, the longest pit stop in Formula 1 history. Not exaggerating. It took them 43 hours to get that tyre off after the race. Bro, they should hold the record for the longest pit stop ever. That nut had more commitment than most relationships in 2021. Then came Baku. Hamilton on the front row, cool and calm, restarting after Verstappen's tyre exploded like it was trying to take him with it.
Oh, and it's Max Verstappen! Max Verstappen on the main straight!
Everyone's on edge, 2 laps of pure chaos ahead. Everyone's focused, except Lewis. He accidentally hits the brake magic switch. Only the front brakes engage. And yeah, tell him, Mark.
Underway, lights out, and Perez immediately jumps across. Lewis Hamilton's gonna get the lead! Lewis Hamilton takes it away, but he locks off, and he's lost it!
The moment was so iconic, even Norris recreated it years later.
As Lando Norris has gone off the road, the championship pendulum swings.
Different gravy, but it gets better. Hungry, soaking wet, turn 1. Bottas gets a bad launch and forgets how brakes work. He slams into Norris, who then hits Verstappen, and Bottas finishes the combo by punting Checo. 4 drivers, 1 corner.
Head to damn in touch. We've got cars all over the road and off the road there. 5 cars, 6 cars, and more contact there between the Ferrari and the...
And then we get Hamilton on the restart grid, alone. Literally. Everyone else pitted for slicks. Absolute cinema.
Down, away we go for Lewis Hamilton only. The race leader is the only driver who's not come into the pit lane to change tyres. Now he can race full blast down towards turn 1. There's nobody behind him, and through he goes.
Yeah, let's try. Yeah, copy Lewis, so box.
George Russell is going to be leading the Grand Prix potentially. This is epic.
When Hamilton comes out into this race, he's now going to feel right at the back, because that's where he is.
From dominance to slapstick comedy in 3 races flat. And what kills me, every time you thought, okay, that had to be the last one, they pulled out something even dumber, like they were chasing high scores on a how to fumble a race simulator. But hey, if you think that was the peak of madness, oh buddy, think again. We're going back to 2003. Alright, you ever watch a Formula 1 race that feels exactly like when your younger cousin grabs the controller to play Mario Kart for the first time? That's pretty much what happened at Interlagos back in 2003. Absolute chaos, 0 control, yet somehow impossible to look away from. Look, I'll be honest, for years I was one of those people who genuinely believed a little rain always made races better. I mean, give me dark clouds, slippery tracks, and cars sliding around like they're on ice. That sounds like perfection, right? But after revisiting this race, let's just say I seriously reconsidered my opinion. First off, this wasn't just rain, it was biblical. We're talking Noah's Ark level downpour that turned Interlagos into Brazil's newest water park. From the very first laps, cars were just throwing themselves off track left and right.
Oh, big accident.
Montoya and Pitsonia. It looks like Montoya on the left in the BMW Williams, Pitsonia on the right. Here's what happened, Martin.
That's Ralph Furman about to come in and whack the back of him. How did that happen? Did Ralph touch somebody, or did he have a front suspension failure down that straight?
Drivers had literally 0 grip. Cars spun like Beyblades, smashing barriers, getting packed into walls, and generally creating pure chaos. Honestly, it was less like a race and more like watching an F1 graveyard unfold in real time. Dude, I still wonder how half those cars even made it past turn 1. And just when you thought things couldn't possibly get more chaotic, Webber's Jaguar decided to grind itself straight into the barriers, scattering debris everywhere.
That's a big shunt for Mark Webber.
Now here comes Alonso, probably blinded by bravery or maybe just stupidity. Who really knows? Full send mode straight into that debris field, turning his Renault into complete shambles.
Oh, we've got another car off.
Alonso.
Like, seriously, Fernando, how the hell didn't you see all that debris? That crash was so intense, FIA immediately red flagged the race, plunging everyone into a full-blown confusion spiral. FIA officials basically panicked, probably high-key sweating under pressure, and straight up awarded the win to Raikkonen. But here comes the ultimate plot twist. So after celebrating like crazy, Kimi got his win yeeted away and handed to Giancarlo Fisichella. Imagine the emotional roller coaster, going from shit, almost won, to wait, I actually won? Days after the race finished. Fissy was probably tilted, confused, and ecstatic all at once. And speaking of celebrations, Jordan Ford's victory party was hilariously delayed. Literally no one expected their mid-tier car to pull off such a clutch victory under these cracked conditions. So poor Fisichella had to wait a full week for his trophy presentation at Imola, which honestly felt like getting your birthday cake a week after your actual birthday. Awkward, late, but hey, you'll take it, right? Pretty weird time in FIA. If there was ever a single event to define the word scenes, Brazil 03 was it. We're talking crashes, rookie mistakes, sketchy moves, and a winner nobody saw coming. Honestly, every time I rewatch the highlights from this race, I have no clue how Formula 1 even survived that weekend. Interlagos 03 cooked the entire sport, leaving fans, teams, and officials all thinking, wait, what the hell did we just witness? And speaking of totally bizarre race endings, remember when Schumacher literally won a race from the pits? Like seriously, let's face it, strategy and Ferrari go together like oil and water.
And we are thinking of plan B. Plan B.
What was plan B? Ricky, I forgot. I fixed them.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
But somehow, in 1998, they pulled off one of the most cracked tactical plays the sport's ever seen. And behind it all, the king of controversial W's, Mr. Michael Schumacher. This race, it was a full-blown heist movie. Schumacher was Danny Ocean, the pit crew were the getaway drivers, and the FIA were just NPCs watching their rulebook get turned into confetti. It's Silverstone. Weather? Full British mode. Raining, drying, then raining again like the circuit owed someone money. Häkkinen's leading the standings, and Schumi's right behind him hunting. And when the safety car comes out on lap 43, guess what happens? Schumacher overtakes someone under caution. Yikes.
We think a stop-and-go penalty for Michael Schumacher.
Obviously illegal. The stewards are like, okay, 10 seconds stop go, cool. But then, Ferrari pulls the Uno reverse card. Instead of serving it ASAP, they stall, and stall, and stall. Bro, it was giving Netflix buffering screen energy. And I was sitting there like, wait, are they actually gonna delay this until the last lap? Yep, that's exactly what happened. By the time Schumacher dives into the pits, he's literally on the final lap. And instead of stopping in the penalty box, he casually cruises through the pit lane and crosses the finish line while serving the penalty.
In the pit lane, Schumacher in the pit lane. So, well, that means he'll win the race because he crosses the start-finish line. He crosses the start-finish line now, I believe, but the race is over, surely.
Well, this could be an incredible bit of political acumen.
That's not just strategy, that's war crimes with extra sauce. Even the FIA had a moment like, wait a minute, is that allowed? And the funniest part, it technically was. There was no rule saying he couldn't serve it like that. That's gotta be the single most gigabrain move in F1 history. Meanwhile, Häkkinen was probably somewhere screaming into a pillow. And honestly, I'd be salty too if I lost a race because someone treated the pit lane like a finish line shortcut. But here's the thing, this wasn't a one-off. Schumi had a whole career of wild moments like this. Cadez 97 parked the car in his rival's side pod.
He's going through! Oh yes!
Help!
I don't think...
Out goes Michael Schumacher!
That didn't work. That didn't work, Michael. You hit the wrong part of him, my friend. I don't think that will cause Villeneuve a problem.
Monaco 2006 stopped on purpose in qualifying.
Michael, can you tell us what happened?
Watch the video and you see that I pushed hard, locked up, started sliding and run out of road.
He did it in the wrong place at the wrong time, the wrong way. All he had to do was slide into that wall at the point where they start the main straight which would be very easy to do, and that would have absolutely destroyed anybody's lap. So what Ferrari have been saying is, look, if we were going to do that, we'd have made a better job of it. Now, it's an argument, but obviously the stewards listened to all of that, and we know what they decided.
Man, so many silly moments from Schumi. I should do a video just about him. Schumacher didn't just drive fast, he played the rules like they were side quests in GTA. He min-maxed Formula 1. And talking about pit lanes, while Schumacher found ways to win through them, Senna decided he'd just blast down one and set a fastest lap, because normal racing lines, they're for mortals. During the 90s, F1 was straight up sketchy. Pretty much absolute chaos everywhere, every race. The pit lane, just vibes. But then came Senna, and man, something switched. So picture this, 1993, Donington Park, it's raining sideways. Lap 1, Senna overtakes 4 cars like it's an F1 arcade machine.
European Grand Prix. Prost gets away well, so does Hill, so does Schumacher, and Wendlinger is coming up well. Senna is crowded out and is down to 5th position. And Ayrton Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher. Senna is up to 3rd.
A quite brilliant couple of corners by Ayrton Senna. And Senna into 2nd place already.
Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost, so...
Like, who even does that? Man was cracked. I swear he had cheat codes for wet conditions. But here's where things go crazy. Lap 57. Everyone's struggling for grip.
And Senna had a bit of a tangle there. What happened to Senna and Fittipaldi? Senna got
spin. This is it. This is the Englishman going off on the Lotus.
Senna, he sets the fastest lap of the entire race. And I kid you not, through the actual fucking pit lane. Why? Because McLaren fumbled his stop. Rain was coming, so they called him in for tyres. But when Senna rolled up, the crew was like, wait, we doing that now?
Senna is coming into the pits. Ayrton Senna, now he can come into the pits and take an enormous amount of time. He's gone straight through. What on earth is happening?
So instead of stopping, Senna just goes, nah, and full sends it through the pit lane like it's a time trial, and it worked. The Donington pit lane was super short, and the track was wet as hell, so while everyone else was out there tiptoeing on ice, Senna just used the pit lane as a slipstream tunnel, and guess what? 118.029, fastest lap, full flex. And if you think that was the only WTF pit lane moment, yeah, let's talk about Canada 2008. So Lewis comes out of the pits and straight up sends himself into the back of a parked Iceman.
Oh, look at the pit lane's closing. Hamilton has hit the back of Kimi Räikkönen.
That moment still sends me. It's not even a mistake. It's like a whole side quest. Lewis just unlocked the GTA cutscene inside an F1 race, and then got hit with a 10th-place grid drop. Rightfully so, to be honest. So on one side, you've got Senna turning the pit lane into a speed boost, and on the other, you've got Lewis doing bumper cars at pit exit. One's cracked, the other fully cooked. People still talk about Senna's lap because it made 0 sense and total sense at the same time. That's what happens when you mix raw pace, soaked tires, and a guy who basically raced like God was his race engineer. But hey, genius moves like these don't come around often. 1 second, it's a normal lap. Next thing you know, the pit lane becomes the most elite shortcut in racing history. What could possibly be more cursed than a pit lane fastest lap? How about a race that needed more retries than my internet during a storm? Welcome to the glitchy mess that was the 1999 European start. Play some Windows 95 error sounds, because that's the energy Nürburgring 1999 had. This wasn't just a race. It was a software bug with carbon fiber. Cars jump the start, officials stare at each other, and the audience just vibing in confusion. Alright, so lights out and away we...
Out and the lights are still on, and Frentzen has jumped the start. Häkkinen has jumped the start. Now they were on for a fantastically long time. Never seen this before.
Frentzen moved, Coulthard moved, Häkkinen went for it, and the rest of the grid is absolutely stationary.
Wait, huh? That wasn't supposed to happen. One of the strangest F1 starts of all time, and I mean ever. This wasn't your average jump start. This was 6 drivers launching like they were playing red light, green light on acid. So here's the setup. Top 5 qualifiers were lined up. Frentzen on pole, with Coulthard, Häkkinen, Ralf Schumacher, and Panis right behind. The lights begin their sequence. 5 red dots, one by one, and then nothing. Just a long pause. Not even dramatic, just awkward. It felt like the system forgot what came next. Pretty sus if you ask me. Then, boom! The lights go out and 6 cars yeet themselves forward. Problem? The lights weren't supposed to go out. The system malfunctioned. And instead of a clean getaway, the field just decided collectively that this was fine. I mean, imagine you're in P6 watching the top 5 all send it, and you're like, wait, are we supposed to go now. I always wonder what was going through the stewards' heads. Like, 6 cars just false started, and the FIA basically hit the reset button like it was an old Nintendo cartridge. No penalties, no time slap, just a full-blown restart. You'd think this was a Sunday karting league, not a billion-dollar sport. To be fair, I'll admit, the glitch was real. The official explanation said the automated system delayed the lights going out longer than expected, tricking the drivers into thinking the race had already started. Honestly, I was surprised how little this moment gets mentioned. Like, the 1999 European race wasn't just wild because of this.
Come on, go this time, yes, nice one, Frentzen. David Coulthard has got hit, Mika Häkkinen coming up alongside him.
Oh, somebody's over.
Bang, and that's a Benetton in the background.
Sauber, I think, Murray.
And
Sauber
Benetton,
upside down.
Yeah, Sauber upside down, Benetton behind it. Frentzen and Fishy Keller has exited the pit lane. Frentzen stops. He's lost the prop.
Oh,
and
no, Coulthard off the road.
David Coulthard has gone off. Wow, my God, this is unbelievable. Johnny Herbert in the Stewart turns into corner 13 and takes the checkered flag to win.
But this was some premium scuffed content. And just when you thought the Nürburgring couldn't get any weirder, boom! The very same track gave us a debut so cursed and cracked at the same time, they might as well have renamed it the Winkelring. So a few years ago, there was this driver, Marcus. Yeah, he wasn't even racing full time. He was the test driver for Spiker, a team that was basically allergic to points. We could say they were the Stake F1 team kick Sauber, with a less ridiculous name. They toss him into the car mid-season, replacing Albers for one weekend, and honestly, no one paid attention. Imagine showing up to an F1 race with a Ford Fiesta and leading the race. That's what Winkelhock did. Except it wasn't a Ford, it was worse, a Spiker. Well, welcome to the Nürburgring 2007, where Marcus Winkelhock said screw it and turned his literal only Formula 1 race into a whole fever dream. But how did a team so bad manage to lead the race? They did the complete opposite to Ferrari strategists. And of course, it worked. The moment before the race started, while every other team is chilling on slicks, thinking it will stay dry, Spiker gambles hard. They pit Winkelhock during the formation lap and slap on full wets. Full wets.
Marcus, box. Box this lap. Box directly, Marcus. I'm in the pit lane. Okay, Marcus, we're putting you on standard wet, so on standard wet tyre map.
In Germany, in July, it was either Galaxy Brain or career-ending dumb. And then, the sky opens, like fully rage quits. Rain pours down like the Nürburgring got hit with a monsoon DLC pack. Suddenly, everyone's sliding off, yeeting into gravel, losing control. Meanwhile, Marcus is just out there, cooking. Bro had grip while the rest of the grid looked like they were ice skating.
That's Button, oh no. Jenson Button was running in 4th place, he has gone off. Spiker flies off the racetrack. Adrian Sutil. Is that Hamilton? It is Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton on lap 3 has gone off.
Here comes another one, and this is going to get nasty. They're going to have to put the safety car out. What they're doing now is...
Oh, that's a big one. That's one of the Toro Rosso spinning around. It's Tonio Liuzzi who makes gentle contact with the tractor.
He overtakes 5 drivers like it's casual Friday, climbs into the top 5 within literal minutes, and then, this is not a joke, ends up leading the race.
And he's leading the race. He was the man who starting from the pit lane, and on his debut, the 27-year-old in a Spiker is going to come through Izzy and lead a lap.
Leading with a 33-second gap in a Spiker. I don't care what team you support, that's some goated energy. I still remember thinking, he's going to wake up any second now. But no, this man was grinding, leading at his home track in front of thousands during the most cursed weather imaginable. But of course, nothing this cursed stays that perfect. Race control throws a red flag, resets the field. But when the race restarts, yep, Winkelhock is officially on pole. I'll say that again. A Spiker driver started from pole in 2007. Eventually, he had to retire after just 15 laps due to hydraulic issues.
As off goes Marcus Winkelhock, having led on his debut, and a bit of flame coming out of the exhaust there.
Painful. But for a moment, he was him, the rain god, the glitch in the F1 Matrix. And you know what? I swear the simulation actually lagged that day. That's the only way to explain it. And even though he never raced in F1 again, that one drive cemented his name forever. Not because he won, but because he pulled off the ultimate what the fuck just happened moment in racing history. And maybe that's the wildest part of all. Sometimes the strangest moments in F1 don't come from legends, but from one-hit wonders who hijack the script and rewrite the chaos. What was your favorite moment? Did I miss any good ones? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more, why don't you check out this video? It's gonna get savage. Anyway, and as always, thank you for watching.